Thanks for waiting, guys.
Holy crap.
Responses, engine 5, engine
It's
3,
happening.
Engine 1, ladder 3, ladder 2,
I think I'm in. I think I'm in.
We've got smoke showing. Division 1, you're on location, box 23, reporting smoke showing 727.
JobTlks podcast members do not represent the cities and towns they work for in their views and opinions. They are views and opinions that belong to us only. We are not here trying to be the experts or tell people how to do their job. Our goal with this show is simply to facilitate knowledge sharing.
All right. Welcome. JobTlks podcast number 10, live from the Heroes Cup. If you're tuning in for the first time or you're out in the audience wondering who we are, what we're about, check us out on our social media at JobTlks. It's JobTlks. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We're also on all the major podcast channels, Google, Apple, Spotify, the works. If you're listening or you're in the live audience and you want to ask us a question, head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/JobTlks. We have the live chat up here. We'll be taking some questions. We'll be throwing out some questions, and we're going to be doing some giveaways, right, Jason?
Yes.
You want to tell them what we're giving away today?
We give away some incredible fire department coffee. Greatest coffee on the face of the planet. Caffeinates you throughout the day. With wonderful flavors, too. Medium roast, skull crush and espressos. Little donut shop, double chocolate.
Got some Irish infused, or spirit infused over
Yes.
here. We're also going to be giving away a couple of t-shirts. So obviously this is a special episode for us. This is our first guest appearance on an episode. It's also our first time going live. So those of you that have been waiting for us in the chats and the videos, we appreciate you waiting for us. And we have the one and only Jason Patton here from
Hi.
Fire
Jason
Department
Patton.
Chronicles.
What's going on? Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. You and my ginger brother over there. You ever wonder what I would look like with a mustache? Right there. That's the guy.
I also have a little ginger at home. He's 16 months old, and his hair is basically on fire. So I appreciate the ginger support. I need it. I got two of them in my house, actually.
There you go.
He's also 6'4". He's 9 months old.
Makes sense.
So there's basically 0% chance that you're watching this and don't already follow Jason, but if you don't for some reason, please check him out, Fire Department Chronicles. He's on every single social media streaming platform. Videos are absolutely hilarious.
Thank you.
And gives a good lens of the fire and public safety service. We really appreciate that.
He's also a lawyer, Murphy S. Law, Esquire.
Yeah.
Murphy S. Law.
Yeah, you know.
So today we're going to be talking about mental health. Again, if you have any questions for us or for Jason as we go through, please hit us up in the chats. We're live here from the Heroes Cup hockey tournament. So for people who are watching, viewing from out of state or don't know what the Heroes Cup is, basically this was started to bring firefighters, public safety, police, EMS, everybody together for something positive. You know, we tend to get together for things like funerals and stuff like that. And so Mike Matros, the guy who founded this, put it together to bring people together for a positive light. And so we thought this would be a good place to do our first live episode and do it on mental health, which you've been a huge advocate for. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, mental health is in general is important. I mean, a lot of people, when they invest in it, they, like you said, it's always negative. You're always going to, funerals or you're going to these big conferences, and by the time you leave them, you're pretty sure you're going to kill yourself. Like, it's just like super depressing stuff. But yeah, I mean, it should be a positive thing. Your life is built off of your mental health, your physical health, your intellectual health. Everything's built off of mental health. So why not have create a fun spin on it? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Can you give us just a little bit of background about yourself, kind of what you do? Obviously, we all know you're in the fire service down in Florida, Riviera Beach, right?
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of background about yourself, kind of how you got into this, and then why you became such an advocate for mental health.
No, so I was a mechanic. I'm actually first generation firefighter. I was a mechanic prior to getting into being a firefighter. I got into firefighting because I was an atrocious mechanic, probably one of the worst ones out there. In fact, when my last day, my boss comes up to me and he goes through your toolbox and he opens up the bottom drawer and he's like, "What is that?" And it was a bunch of extra nuts and bolts that I was like, "It's extra nuts and bolts." He goes, "No, you shouldn't have extra nuts and bolts." I'm like,
So just a couple extra.
yes.
You never know.
I mean, it's basically like IKEA furniture, right?
Yeah.
You put it together, you have like a little pile of the extras at the end.
Absolutely. So, so I found EMT school, loved it, man. Got into it, then went to fire school, fell even more in love with the job and everything. And then with mental health, man, it was just I started making like funny videos that people thankfully appreciated. Once I saw that they were appreciating, they were reaching out to me like, "Hey, man, helps with my mental health." I'm like, "Dude, that's amazing. So maybe we can explore a little bit further." And then I found incredible resources and stuff. So it's been a fun journey so far.
And you work for is it Bayern? Is the service that you work for?
Banyan Treatment Centers is who I
Banyan,
work.
sorry.
Yeah. So these guys and girls will reach out to me like, "Yo, I need where do I go if I got substance use issues or mental health or something like that? Where do I go?" And I didn't know of any places that I literally trusted to send my family or coworkers. So I found Banyan, man. They're awesome. And I also needed something that was national. They have 15, going soon to be 16 facilities across the United States, man. They're literally any level of care that you would need, any kind of level of treatment. They're incredible. They're very good at what they do.
And you started a specific program with them for first responders when they come in, so they get they kind of as they come in get a different approach to their mental health care immediately.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, no, we wanted to make sure, crew is the name of it, and we wanted to make sure that if they come in, they get the appropriate treatment for being a first responder. I mean, what's great about the mental health field in general is it's constantly changing, just like EMS or just like the medical field. So what I loved about them is that they have the services, the paths, the tracks that do help first responders, but the biggest thing is, man, is some guys come in and they don't want to be the first responder there. They want to be just a guy that's got an issue, and they don't even want to talk about the stuff in first responding. So that they look at it a much broader spectrum than the average place.
Yeah. They don't want to be
feel like
placed
that's-
into a
that's
specific
probably
box. Sorry. No, I was saying it's good that with things like Banyan or like home base in Boston, which is for police, fire, EMS. You can go there and either advocate for yourself as a first responder, or you're just a dude.
Yeah.
So there's a lot, and it's good to see there's so many resources now that the pendulum is slowly swinging.
Yeah.
So it's not so stigmatized.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, kind of ending that stigma of having mental health problems or issues, or sometimes just support. You need to just talk to somebody about something is big. I know. So we're telling you a little bit before the show. Barry and I were also in the military, both served in the Army. John is a firefighter locally as well. He's here in Stoughton, and I think we've all had our own struggles with mental health. So like I know for me, going in the military, I signed the papers when I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
I was deployed. I turned 19 in Iraq. I turned 21 in Afghanistan. And then coming out, you do these things like, I was a paratrooper, a machine gunner, and then you get out and you're 22 years old and you're like, wow, like I peaked. Like my peak level of coolness happened at 22 instead of like 45, and then going through that kind of midlife crisis of like coming back and figuring that out. And then, on top of it, then you get into something that you become passionate about. So like for me, it was helping other people, and that's how I kind of got into also first generation firefighter.
Nice.
I thought I wanted to be a cop, but we all know that that's a terrible idea.
I think we're all first generation firefighters.
I think, we were all first generation
Oh,
firefighters
that's awesome.
here, yeah.
I also maintain you haven't peaked yet. I mean, you are on a podcast live with Jason Patton, so.
I mean, that is pretty cool. You're right.
No, we're not going there.
So when I got out for a long time, it was the stigma was there. It's still there, right? And I didn't really know like what resources they kind of when you decide to get out of the military, at least they kind of boot you out and say good luck. And it was probably a few years later that I realized like there were some programs like Barry said, the home base program, and just like figuring out and then having stuff where you just you have groups and networks. So I was involved for a while with a foundation here in Massachusetts called Skate for the 22 Foundation.
Yep.
It was started by a guy I served with, and he had the vision to bring people together through the sport of hockey. And so there are quite a few teams here that are playing, actually raising money for them today. But Barry, you had some of your own, right?
I was talking to John about this in the truck earlier. So it's interesting, like the generational shift between like mental health awareness and mental health treatment. So like Will's generation in the Army, for example, like there wasn't much resources available.
Are you calling me old?
No, I mean.
I think
there's
that's
one
exactly
previous.
what he just
Yeah,
said.
Yeah. No,
back in his day.
See, I like to frame it as seasoned and experienced. But for
salty.
Yeah, salty.
Yeah.
Salty would be the appropriate term. But for his generation, like they'd get out after seeing significant combat, and it was kind of like there was no resources.
Yeah.
Or, shut up and just drive on.
Yeah.
Versus like the generation we have now. So my last tour is 2019 to 2020, to where it seems like the pendulum has completely shifted to where it's almost like an oversaturation. So like my issue when I got back, like. I was a little hypervigilant. I wouldn't like to be in like large spaces, and I think there's an oversaturation to the point where I'm like, oh, like, am I fucked up? Because like, you know what I mean. So, but I think it's important to transition to the conversation that these are like even like the label of like post-traumatic stress disorder to transitioning into post-traumatic stress because it's a natural reaction to the circumstances you were in.
Well, and the disorder portion, I think most people are now seeing it's been overdiagnosed. Like you have to have daily occurrences of issues. But that doesn't mean you can't have PTS. Like you can't be. You can't. And I mean, it literally comes down to, bro. If you got to talk, look. If you broke your leg, you would go to a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, unless you're
walk it off.
Freaking weirdo. Yeah, or walk it off. One of the two, man. But you probably go get it fixed. Like talking to someone doesn't make you weird, man. A lot of times, just that one conversation, man, can make your life a billion times better, bro. But I like that you're saying that, man. That's perfect.
Yeah, it actually makes you more. I think it takes more of a man to be open and upfront and actually address the problems. Because in the end, it's just going to lead to a bad place.
I think we've had a lot of people that have been committed to helping people with mental health and ending that stigma. Speaking of committed, I just want to give a shout out. Do you know that John here last night was at a bachelor party?
Really?
This morning, woke up, puked in the shower, and drove 3 hours to be on this show.
Puked in the shower, waffle stomped. Yes.
He's actually going back to set that.
Yeah, if you don't know what waffle stomping is, don't Google it.
And then when we're done here, he's hopping right back in the car 3 hours to go do it all again tonight.
He's going back.
Jeez,
tonight's the real night.
So.
Tonight's the real
Yo,
night.
and I'll tell you real fast, you guys talk about combat and stuff, man. People always... they always look back to like previous generations and they talk about how like, the Spartans didn't do this, like the Romans did, and that's not true, man. All of in fact, the Romans used to have things called vestal virgins that when they would come back from combat, they would set to cleanse their spirits, cleanse all the sins away from them. Don't Google vestal virgins in your local area, I promise you. You're going to jail, but it does exist. So.
They used to make them sit like 30 days or whatever outside of the cities and stuff because they knew when they came back that they were just out of their minds.
My wife did that.
So
go sit in the yard.
Jason, you've been an advocate for other people in mental health. Has doing these videos and stuff like helped you as well?
Yeah.
What would you say is with Fire Department Chronicles your favorite thing about making the videos?
Dude, I tell you, I think it's, and I just compare it to things like people who love doing woodwork, or when I was a mechanic and I actually fixed something. Like, there's just something about like creating an idea in your head, like putting the work in, the editing, the writing the scripts and all that, and then it genuinely coming out to something like cool and like that you created something from nothing and it actually turned out to be something that you enjoyed. So I think that in general has been very cool. There is a parallel to firefighting where or medics, where you go to all this schooling to learn this stuff and one day you actually get that call where you've got to like save someone's life,
actually do the job,
like a toe pain at 3 a.m. Like that's I saved
the real
that person's
the real
life.
stuff.
The real EMS.
No, we were commenting earlier, like similar to you saying, like taking this vision to a reality is like how incredible it's been as a journey for us. I mean, we're just starting, but like this whole conversation started with like, hey, we're all really passionate about firefighting and positively influencing culture. And John was like, hey, like maybe we should start a podcast. And you're like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. And here we are.
And I think for our own mental health, it's good too because focusing on your videos and things like that, I think having like something to put your energy into so that you're either not like in your own mind thinking about things and not to bury it deep, but just to like give yourself an outlet, whether it's creative, some people it's the gym, it's physical, whatever that case may be, is having projects like that help a lot. What would you say your favorite video or series of videos are on your channel? I'll tell you what mine are. I like the shorts.
Yeah, dude, it's...
Dude, the like 30-second, like the dude with the harmonica, like I was absolutely dying.
Very short films. I made those because I was like, I want to make a short film, and then I was like, I don't have the attention span to do that, so I'm gonna do very short films. No, the green screens, dude, I think that was probably one of my favorite things to start doing. Just the technicalities of it, like learning how to green screen myself and color grade and everything. But just the fact that I'm able to like watch these horrible shows, and every time I watch them, I'm like, God, that needs to change. I will tell you this, man. This girl comes up to me at FDIC. She's like, "Hey, I was the technical consultant for Ambulance."
Awkward.
And the movie, right? So I watched Ambulance, and I was excited. I was like, this is gonna be horrible.
It's gonna be very realistic.
And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And I was shocked. I was like, man, there's not a whole lot of material here, a lot of like room for me to green screen. So when I meet her, she's like, no, you don't understand. I read the script and brought it to Michael Bay and was like, if we do this is what's gonna happen. Showed him like 3 of my green screens, and they changed the script, dude. I was like, I'm making a change, bro. It's all coming together. So.
That's awesome. So one of the things I was gonna ask you is you must get people that, I mean, listen, at this point, everybody knows who you are. I mean, even outside of the fire service, I feel like your videos, just in their content, their comedy, have reached far outside of the public safety realm, right?
Thank you.
It's
so
relatable.
you must have people that come up to you all the time.
I was literally taking a crap about 2 hours ago in a Publix, and this guy stuck his head out. So, yeah, dude, it is insane, man. Just to go different places and see people that enjoy the videos and stuff. But that's what I want. First off, I make if no one outside of our industry recognize the videos, I'm fine with that, because I make videos for firefighters and first responders and police officers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it has, man. It's teachers. I was touring my kid's new school the other day, and the teacher comes around the corner. She's like, I love your videos. I'm like, if you get my daughter in this school, I'll love you more. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And by the way, you just recently got married, right?
yes, October 23rd last year. Megan, she's amazing. She's
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I won't poach off another podcast, but you were telling the story how you guys met. She delivered you some food, and
Yes.
and it was love at first sight.
Yeah, well, I was like, you are hot. We need to talk. So yeah.
Good for you. I could tell you, I absolutely would not have the balls to do that. No chance. No. I mean, maybe if I had 500,000 viewers on YouTube or something.
That doesn't help at all, ever. Trust
I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of famous.
No. I think if you start with that, you have a 0% chance of getting with that girl. So.
I actually met my wife on the ambulance.
Did you?
Yeah.
She was a patient?
No.
I was gonna say, you sick bastard.
She was third. she was third riding with us. Yeah.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
She's a nurse now. Good.
She is a nurse. Yeah.
Nice.
Up in the world, and Barry's about to have a baby as well.
I am.
Ooh. Yeah. Good for you, bro.
Yeah. Couple months. Crazy.
That's
what a time to be alive.
Your first one?
First one.
Your life's gonna end, bro. That's it, buddy.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, look, there's right.
My
They
biggest,
laugh because it's true. That guy does. You don't know yet. You shouldn't have kids
My
yet.
biggest question.
Yeah.
My biggest question as a soon-to-be dad is, can I still take naps?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when you go to the firehouse.
If you want to get stabbed by your wife, you could do it.
I literally pay hundreds of dollars a week for daycare so I can take a nap.
Dude, I tell you.
And it's worth every penny.
You will never appreciate being able to go to Publix by yourself, or whatever your grocery store is, Menards, whatever, more than after you have that kid. Like, all I want to do is go to CVS and grab some toothpaste. Ain't gonna happen, man.
Just crying in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they're crying. Like, you praying to God you can take 20 steps without them waking up and vomiting all over the place. See,
I have
like this
something
guy. And they have 3.
I appreciate. So I'm actually originally from Florida, the Panhandle. We call it Lower Alabama up there.
Yes.
And so the reference to like Publix, that's not up here. So I appreciate that.
I know, bro. No one knows Publix.
That's how you pronounce that? I always thought it was Publix.
So a couple of
Gotta
quick
swing
things
by
in the chat right now. So one is ERGE says, love you. After seeing your videos, I applied as a volunteer firefighter.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah, so,
Dude, I love that.
So
Strong
you're
work, man.
influencing people not only to take control of their mental health, not watching their videos, but actually get into the
That's
fire
awesome.
service. So that's really awesome. One guy is talking about people who drink, trying to numb out. So have you had experience with people like that? Like in your own job, people who have reached out to you, or people with your treatment centers do they also deal with substance and alcohol abuse?
Yeah, I mean, it's substance use is probably one of the biggest things people utilize to numb it. And honestly, a lot of times it just starts off as a normal process. and then eventually gets out of control. So yeah, absolutely, man. You see it all the time. But that's where you find the mental health. With mental health only, there's not always substance, but with substance, there's typically mental health. So you figure out how to rectify that, get them back to a good place, and go from there, man.
So one of the things that you do as well is you do CPR teaching through comedy.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Dude, I started teaching CPR probably like 6 or 7 years ago, man, and I would like watch these other teachers teach, and I'm like, oh God, this is horrific. I had one class when I built my own company, I went and took over this school, and I taught the class, dude. We were laughing at it's literally stand-up comedy for 2 hours, and we like were laughing, having such a good time. These 2 teachers walk up to me after, they're like, thank you so much. The last guy would take one of them, put him in a room, then have them run their scenario, and then have other teachers run in like frantic parents and be like, what are you doing to my kid? I'm like, why would you do that
Just
to
scarring
anyone?
them.
You scar them for life, dude. That's not okay.
Actually, I gotta say, the scenario videos, that always hits home, right?
Oh, yeah.
He failed to recognize the 3-foot katana sword sticking out of his back.
Oh my, because that's the truth. That's what
It is. That's literally it is. It's like,
I have to say one of the funniest CPR videos out there, and I apologize, but
It's
you
okay.
watched The Office.
Yes.
Where he cuts the face off the mannequin,
Yes.
harvests the organs. One of the best episodes.
Yeah.
One of the best episodes in CPR videos out there. I used to teach CPR and ACLS, and I probably was that other instructor that was just like, and then you push on the chest 30 times and get 2 breaths. It got to the point where it was so like repetitive,
robotic.
like I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But do you think that bringing comedy to CPR, bringing comedy to any sort of teaching helps people remember, it
Yes.
breaks down barriers, helps
Yes.
people feel comfortable? Do you think that same principle applies to mental health?
Absolutely, man.
So, I mean, obviously with your videos, but like in your experience, like in actual treatment centers, like do you think that helps? And like, how do you go about like feeling people out for like how comfortable they are with whatever the comedy or
if it's a
whatever it is?
firefighter or a first responder, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
It seems to be the general
yeah,
case, right?
Everything's No, I think in general, bro. So there's a ton of studies that show that comedy in general helps obviously release dopamine, serotonin. So you're going to be able to, and also they say that the comedy allows the brain to recognize that as a mysterious thing, so it wants to learn more about it if you're using it in order to teach like CPR or whatever you're teaching in general. But especially with mental health, yeah, man. Look, dude, they're already depressed. They already have enough stuff going on. So throwing a little humor in there every once in a while ain't gonna hurt them, and it removes that stigma portion of it. So dude, mental health does not need to be so serious, man. It just doesn't, man. That when you make everything serious, no one wants to be involved with it.
So I was just gonna say, a good buddy of mine, he's also a local firefighter, Gary Reagan from Scars and Stripes. I don't know if he's here today, but he's got kind of like a grassroots movement going on. One of the things that I talked to him about was he had just found himself to be in a position, probably much like yourself or any of us, where guys might just kind of come to you and say, hey man, like what are you doing every day to stay mentally fit, right?
Yeah.
What's your routine? Like how do you do this? So I'm sure you get asked that a lot, but so like I mean, I know with comedy, but there's got to be some other magic.
Obviously,
what do you do?
physical fitness, man, huge.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the basics. Getting the appropriate testosterone boosts and stuff like that. I am on testosterone as well, but that's a whole different subject. That's just
Hell yeah,
That's
brother.
just to stay married.
tell.
But yeah, so nicest kids watching it live.
It's our biggest fan.
Dude, find something outside the fire service, man. If your entire life is firefighting, man, like I mean, you see guys they got hockey here, bro. Like this is what they do on the side, man. But I mean, yeah, finding something outside of firefighting or first response, because number one reason guys off themselves is retirement, bro. So play hockey. If you suck like I do at playing hockey, then not hockey, golf. We don't play a lot of hockey down in Florida.
Listen, it's
Not a lot
kind
of
of like
bonds, yeah.
I don't know if you guys know
A lot of
tonight
frozen ponds.
one of the best hockey teams on the planet's playing for the Eastern Conference Finals. Lightning there.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's super important. That's one of the things that you need to create an identity outside of the fire service. And like you said, a lot of guys will retire and they don't have an identity outside.
Yeah.
So it's like us, for example. Like we wanted to create it. So we started a podcast about firefighting.
Yeah.
So now our time outside of the firehouse is consumed by firefighting.
Firefighting. Yeah, perfect.
So it's important to have balance.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I make videos about firefighting. So,
It's the same for the military. A lot of the guys that have the biggest issues when they get out are the people that made a lot of rank, and they're in charge of a lot of stuff. People jump to when they say do this, they do it, they get out, and they go to work, and some 22-year-old kid's like, who the hell are you? Like, you don't mean anything to me, and like that's gotta be tough. So I think that's a big one.
Well, I think in general, man, you got to find something that's fun, dude. Like something that takes up your time, that you enjoy, that genuinely is funny or fun to you as a human, man. If you can find it outside of there, whatever it is, bro, it does not. You could be knitting. I mean, if you like knitting, dude, like do it, bro.
Knit me a scarf if you
knit
like
the
knitting.
shit out of stuff, man.
Forging. All right, I like
forging.
that.
Yes.
You got a forge?
Yeah.
Well, he actually this bare iron forge.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
You wanna hand it to me, man? Oh.
Where is it?
Oh,
right there.
Where are the knives? You got the knives? Where are those knives? Okay.
We thought we were the guy.
We'll talk about that later. Are you wearing the same shirt as yesterday? Oh, okay. I don't know if it was the same shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. He hasn't slept yet.
But I think like any hobby, and like I said, golf is good and bad, because there are days that you hate yourself for how bad you golf, and then there are days that you love how good you are at golf.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, if I really want to feel bad about myself, I go golf.
That's awesome.
Absolutely
Dude.
terrible.
Well, you can only talk about firefighting and stuff so much, man. Eventually, you're gonna want to do something outside of it. So.
That's true.
Yeah, MMA. You just want to beat the crap out of people.
Yeah.
That's John's.
Is that what he does?
I used to fight.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you're soulless because you're a ginger,
Well, yeah,
so
it
you
makes it
definitely
easy.
you're good
Yeah.
at it, bro.
Feels no pain.
Yeah.
No, he's a big jiu-jitsu guy.
So you, speaking of doing stuff outside of the firefighter realm, you used to be an Olympic lifter.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty high ranking, right?
National.
reasonably-
Yeah, I made it to national level, so
Nice.
that was amazing. It was very cool.
What was your favorite lift?
Dude, both of them sound like sexual things, but
Snatch.
snatch and clean and
Snatch
jerk.
and jerk,
yeah.
clean and jerk.
Yeah. I do.
Who
clean and
made
jerk-
those names?
A pervert. My clean and jerk. I liked doing clean and jerk's probably my favorite, dude. I mean, snatch I hit just over 300 pounds, and clean and jerk at like 385. So it was,
Nice.
300 pounds snatch. That's
yeah,
impressive.
It was fun.
I could never have like I'm just not fucking like flexible.
Well, I mean, that's
you
not
know?
how you snatch, so
Yeah.
that's
Well, I don't know,
probably
I
why
don't
you
know.
couldn't do
This
it.
is
But
the Olympics.
oh, yeah.
I appreciate
My
it. I'm just
shoulders
not
get
flexible.
handled. I think I did. I think 265 was like my max clean and jerk, and then I just got fat after that. I feel like I
Dude, the
peaked,
fatter you
know?
get, the better you get at Olympic lifting. You don't know that?
That's right.
It's stored energy for those big lifts.
Dude, just power bellies, man. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it, man. It was fun, dude. It was. You want to talk about blowing off testosterone, man? That's the way to go, man. I tell you.
So obviously you don't do it competitively anymore.
No, I made it to nationals. I actually got to lift where they were doing the Olympic trials, so I got to actually lift on the same stage as the Olympic Games trials. That was very cool. But after that, I was 33 or 34 at the time. I was like, I have not blown my back or my knees out, so I'm going to exit and enjoy the rest of my life. Yeah.
That's what I did with
That's
fighting.
not a bad way to do it. I feel like so I had shoulder surgery shortly after I peaked at 265 there,
Nice.
and I just feel like I never came back.
No.
I was gonna say subtle plug.
What's that?
After I peaked at 265.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. What'd you say? 365 over here?
385 is
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's a
fun.
ridiculous amount of weight.
Thank
So
you.
so when people get like trapped and stuff, you're not the guy they call, obviously, because
Not anymore. No.
yeah, you don't lift things off people. They actually don't. Riviera Beach doesn't have Jaws of Life or airbags. They just have Jason.
Yeah, I just rip things apart.
Just flexes as the airbag.
As they're dying, I make a joke. I'm like, see you later, and then that's it.
What's it like down at Riviera Beach? You guys are pretty close to the water there.
Yeah, actually, we're the best. Best oceanfront city to work, live, and play. That is the
Really?
motto of our
Work,
area.
live, and play.
Yeah, work,
And
live,
play.
and play. No, it's actually a great department, man. Four stations. Got about 75 firefighters. Our chief Kurd, this guy's killed it, man. He's got us, him and a previous chief. They've managed to get us like 14 new apparatus, incredible pay raises, and like took care of us for like a city. we have everything from high-rise structures to areas where you run a little more dicey calls to, a huge industrial area. There's a place where they build submarines in one of our areas. So multiple ways to die. So they've done a great job taking care of us, and we're able to do it. Yeah. So it's a great place, man.
That's awesome. Do you guys do you have in-house CISM teams and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, it's not in-house CIS. We're actually building that currently, but we do. If you have any CISM or any kind of traumatic calls or something, we have people with Palm Beach County. They'll come and immediately take care of us. But we're in the process of building our own team right now, so we're excited. It's very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We had one guy writing in the chat talking about taking classes on recognizing mental health problems and stuff like that, which made me think the CISM teams. How important do you think that is to not only acknowledge mental health issues, but also train other people to recognize them and to even intervene? It's hard to say intervene because there's levels of intervention, and sometimes that level is just checking in, and sometimes that level is hey man, I think we need to I'll go with you or something, and trying to get somebody to go somewhere.
Peer support, bro. Peer support classes are the greatest things in the world because it just teaches you how to talk to other humans. Because as firefighters, we want to fix everything right away, and sometimes you just can't fix it, man. People just need to talk. They need to get something off their chest. So you learn how to talk to people. You learn the words not to say you don't. If someone's talking to you about something, you don't say, "Man, I completely understand," because you may have absolutely no understanding of what it is. And it kind of it lessens what they're going through in the moment. So it's good in general, bro. We should be able to support each other, brothers and sisters, and be able to, if you need to, because literally, I'm telling you, man, the three biggest things I tell people is listen, or stop talking, and stop judging people. Who gives a shit, man? If someone's going through something, don't judge it, because you never know. Literally, the next day that you could be going through the same thing. Yeah. So. Yeah.
No, you have to rely on your friends and these are the guys that I call, who need to process something. So normally they don't answer, which is nice.
I would imagine.
Yeah, go straight to voicemail.
Yeah, I see Barry Paddock. But I think that peer support's huge. It's not only people that are your peers in age and stuff, but specific to your job, because when you have mental health issues, there are mental health issues that people are born with. There are people that people inherit through their upbringing, things like that, and then there are mental health issues that come about from the specific jobs and things they do. So again, having another firefighter that supports you as a firefighter, or again, being in the military, having somebody that saw combat in the same way that you saw combat or something like that really helps, because you feel like you can open up so that I understand thing, right? You don't say that to them, but as a person, you feel okay, maybe they'll understand where I'm coming from, and I think that really helps.
Cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So do you, if you have somebody that you think is having an issue and you have a hard time getting them to have help, do you have a strategy for that? Do you somebody that you're hey man, I really think that maybe you should see or talk to somebody professionally, and they're resistant, but there's something's up?
So there's a saying. I'm not sober or anything like that, but my wife is, man, and she it's funny, she'll always quote these things they call it the big book. You can't rob somebody of their rock bottom. That's just a fact in life, man. You can't stop. You can't make someone go do something. You can encourage them. Some people may not be wanting to do it because they think they're going to be judged or whatever, and you just make it very dude, this is about you. Who gives a shit what other people think, that kind of thing. But can't rob. There are people who I've just watched them spiral. I'm you should stop, man. Your fourth DUI. You should probably stop doing that. I'm nah, I got it. I'm fine. Okay. So you try to get people, but that's Inception was an incredible movie about that, man. People won't believe in something until they believe that they're the ones that came up with the concept or the idea. So
mainly fire chiefs.
Yes, fire chief. No, my chief's awesome. Chief Kurt, I love you, man. You're awesome.
Just to clarify.
Yeah.
So another question I have for you is we always tell people if you need help to reach out, right? Yeah. What do you do to be the one to reach in when you know that some people won't reach out?
Dude, again, you make it much less formal than it needs to be. And look, this is dude, mental health is just like EMS or anything else. It's extremely dynamic, man. So for what way may work, I mean, I've had people where I would like literally yell at them, like, dude, like get it straight, man. Let's do this, and they'll listen. But some people to that will be like, don't ever come to my house again. So man, just like slow nudges, like, hey, dude, it's okay, man. Like, if you need help, just reach out, and then do the same thing the next week. And I've had that work multiple times. So it's gonna be dynamic or different each person, but just literally being there with an open like. There's no expectations here, man. You know,
everyone requires an individualized approach. Like, you know, what works for you, what works for you, what works for me or John is all different. So
yeah,
that's the important thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's the benefit of all these programs that have like come about is that all of them have a slightly different approach to like taking care of mental health. Like the Scars and Stripes is basically just a resource. So where he has a lot of other resources so he can guide you in the right direction, but isn't necessarily trying to like, you know, push his own philosophy on you. And then there's, you know, like I said, like home base or reaching out to you or whatever the case is. There are a lot of places that have a lot of different approaches, and if you're having struggles or whatever, you got to find what works for you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and there's programs like Next Rung. They're amazing, man. They actually support a lot of guys if they need. They don't have the financial abilities to be able to go to treatment or whatever. Next Rung has been incredible about that kind of stuff. They'll actually support the guys. They've paid for people to go to treatment, so it's good stuff.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So as you can see, we have some bags of fire department coffee here on the table, and you're involved with fire department coffee, and you are the vice president. Is that correct?
Vice president, part owner. Yep.
And they reached out to you after seeing your videos and were like, "Hey, man, like obviously we need you or want you or however it works."
No, 5 years ago, or actually closer to 6 years now, Luke Schneider, CEO of Fire Department Coffee, just retired from Rockford Fire. He reached out. I put a video out because when hurricanes hit Florida, they take every firefighter from at least two of the shifts, and they put them in two stations. So there's going to be roughly 25 plus a bunch of other guys, 33 of us all in one station together. Right. And I put a video out saying coffee was the only thing that was going to stop us from murdering each other. So he happened to see that video, reached out. He's like, "Yo, we should do some work together." I was like, "Sounds good, man." Now, again, like part owner, vice president, we've built some fun stuff, incredible flavors, spirit-infused stuff, and then a portion of all of our proceeds go to helping sick and injured first responders. So
that's awesome.
So that was what I was going to ask about. So it's a Fire Department Coffee Foundation, and you guys help both mental and physical issues, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we. So what I found, man, was, you know, a lot of our characters built in who we are, our identity at least, is built in being a first responder. But that other big one is like providing for our families. So we got these guys that go out on injuries, break a leg or something like that. This guy recently lost one of his legs to cancer, and so we step in, man, and we give them, either we support them directly or support the benevolent funds that support them. Gave a $10,000 check to a guy recently, man. It's what it's about, dude. We gotta be able to support people, but I know financials is the biggest thing, so we come in and try to help them.
And you said recently that you guys reach out and actually support unions as well. So like you'll give to unions that have these issues so that you kind of empower the unions to help their own people. I think that's a really awesome idea and a really good way to get, you know, the team involved in helping people and things like that.
And that, dude, the you know, benevolent funds and stuff like that, man, they're trying to support their brothers and sisters, and just sometimes they don't have the funding or the availability to be able to do it. So we'll send them the cash, let them divvy it up themselves, and have a good time. As long as they're not buying TVs with it, we're good. So,
but aren't those good for mental health? How are you going to watch your video?
True. Hey.
So speaking of, I actually I started drinking your skull crushing espresso, which I think we have a bag over there.
I thought you were just gonna say I just started drinking. I'll be like, all right, we're gonna talk about this. Right?
Last night, if you found me, yes.
This is actually why we're all here.
Yeah. I ended up finding my way to a hotel that I think I booked on Priceline, shit faced with no phone charger. And as my phone hit 1%, I sent a desperate text to these guys saying, if you can't find me in the morning, I'm here at this room. I have no phone. I was down at the breakfast bar, and here comes Barry with a bag of Dunkin' Donuts and a coffee.
He looked like a helpless harbor seal. It's like I have a phone charger and Dunkin' Donuts.
Absolutely. So I didn't have my skull-crushing espresso today, but I like it. I'm an iced coffee guy. If you've watched any of the other episodes, you know how passionate I am about not drinking hot drinks. But
I feel you. You also think that a hot dog isn't a sandwich, so we're going to talk.
No. Listen, we have decided that it was on the menu.
It was on the menu as a sandwich.
Under sandwich.
Yeah, but that's one isolated incident.
Perfect. I just want to make sure.
we really appreciate you coming on. Before we go, so we like to keep the topic light. You know, obviously, a lot of the stuff that we talk about in the fire service can quickly go to the dark side. You know, like, and it's not always like topics like this, but even when you just talk about staffing or apparatus or calls or whatever, it's easy to kind of slip that slope. So we appreciate you coming on and giving you know, a positive spin, if you want to say that, or bringing a little bit of comedy and lightness to such a tough topic.
Appreciate it.
And we're gonna give away some of this fire department coffee here.
All right.
So if you're live out there right now and you're interested in winning some free fire department coffee from Jason Patton or a couple of our sweet T-shirts, we have a few questions we're gonna ask in the audience. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can answer as well. So we're gonna dedicate a couple of bags of coffee to people who answer us on our YouTube chat, so we can make sure that we hit them up as well.
And you guys can't see, but there's, what do you think, 2,000 to 3,000 people watching right now?
The guys watching us on YouTube, at least 2 to 3 thousand people here,
which is
here live in the audience.
See some other people coming. That's probably be 4,000.
Which is ironic because it's a fire.
Yeah, I wanted to get that and say it a little louder that we're giving away some free coffee, because I feel like we could get.
Notice how many more people just want.
I feel like we could get 4,000 to 5,000 here. 4 to 5,000 here if we really wanted to. So, all right. So I got a couple of questions. If you've watched our podcast before, we always like to end it with a question of the day. Today we're going to have 5 questions of the day, and kind of the goal is just like we talk about these subjects, and like you said, we want to talk about some stuff that's not necessarily related to the fire service. So question number 1, who has the better mustache?
Put it up.
John or firefighter Fenton? Ooh. Who's got the better mustache? Better mustache. So
John.
if you think John over here, John Morrissey, has a better mustache, raise your hand. Raise your hand. No. Oh my.
Yes,
you got a pity vote. Congratulations.
That's not a pity vote.
If you think firefighter Fenton has the better mustache, raise your hand. Over here. All right, you guys have been dedicated. There's a bag of coffee. Hopefully it doesn't bust.
Now the big question is do you think firefighter Fenton's mustache is real?
That's the real question.
If you think his mustache is real, raise your hand.
Go home.
Actually,
right? You know what? Here, just for believing in fake stuff. Here you go.
There we go.
You busted open.
So we were.
Good job, kid.
Maybe we'll have him come up and get it.
I'll get you another one.
All right. So we briefly hit on this topic, and you told us your max lifts for your clean and jerk and your snatch. But can anybody guess? I'm gonna break it down in 50s. If you think Jason's maximum deadlift was 500 pounds or less, raise your hand. Wow. People got faith in you.
That's a lot of confidence.
If you think it was 550 pounds or less, raise your hand. You got one for 550 or less. All
Not
right.
a believer.
If you think it was 600 pounds or less, raise your hand.
Raise your
All
hand.
right, I see a few
Yeah,
hands.
good job. Great.
Raise your hands. Raise your hands. All right, so
it was actually, what was it, 1,020 pounds? Was
1,000. You guys are all wrong.
That's a lie.
Nobody gets some coffee.
585.
Hey, John, you want to give this guy in the black T-shirt? He's been answering some questions over
Look
there.
at that guy. Look at that. Looks good with a bat.
Don't hit the
Who else
camera.
had their hand up for the 600 or less over here?
Oh,
Right here. This kid right here. You want a T-shirt, bud?
I was gonna give him coffee.
Yeah.
There you
Don't
go,
get
bud.
him going on coffee.
Don't get him addicted.
Yeah.
Hey, if that, we only have, we don't know what size we have up here, so if that doesn't fit, after this you can find us in the back and we'll exchange it for a smaller
The
one.
answer is that doesn't fit. It's
What's that?
One.
You want a T-shirt? There you go, buddy.
Nice.
All right.
There we go.
So if you've watched our podcast, you know that we like to pick on certain people here that don't know how to cook meat properly. So who amongst the JobTlks crew
John.
is most likely to order overcooked hamburgers and steaks? If you think it's me, raise your hand and then leave.
We know he
because
knows
it's not
his,
me.
he knows his food.
I know my food.
Yeah.
If you think
Definitely,
if you think it is what's up, man? How you doing? If you think it is John over here, raise your hand. No, you think with a mustache like that, this guy eats medium well meat?
Questionable at
If you think it's Barry that eats overcooked meat, raise your hand. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Do you like it well done?
One of you guys in the booth over there that's been serving us drinks all day, come get a bag of coffee.
Yeah.
Any one of you guys over there.
Wait, do you eat well done?
Come get a free bag of coffee.
No, there's
He's a liar.
A lot of common misconceptions here, Jason. My wife air fried steak one time. Ever since then, it's been downhill.
Air fried steak.
It's actually not bad.
I mean, can you cook it?
It was an act of desperation.
I just want you to know that
yeah.
in the live chat, it's just like Barry.
Yeah.
Barry.
Oh, coffee.
Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
There you go.
This is ridiculous.
Chocolate. There you go. God, she
right.
was so mad about that. Why was she so angry? Where's
the
my
guy that
coffee?
just- The guy that just came up and shook my hand here is a cop, and we have one question. Are there any police in the audience here in the crowd here?
Police officer.
Yeah, any cops? All right.
We have one.
So
Listen, this is his question, bro.
it's my question. Does anybody know what all cops have in common? That they do love donuts. All right, good answer. Any other answers?
Here it comes.
What's that? Nobody wants to be one. Also, another accurate answer.
Took the wrong. I'm gonna give it. Yeah,
we're gonna give it to you. The answer is a failed fire exam. All cops have a failed fire exam. Give this guy a bag of coffee over here. He got it.
Which you want dark roast?
You look like a dark roast.
You look
guy.
like a dark roast guy.
Yeah.
So we got a
Definitely a dark roast guy.
caramel one here too.
Skull crushing espresso.
Hey,
There we go.
police
Yeah.
officer, you tase him right now, bro. I'll give you all the rest of the coffee.
Who's our cop over here? Who's our cop that took that in stride? Give
There you
this
go,
guy a
buddy.
bag of coffee.
You want
a bag of coffee?
Come on, buddy.
It'll
Come
go
on.
well with your donuts. It'll go well with your donuts. Actually, we have donut infused, don't we? Or do we already give that one out?
There you go.
All right.
I like that my reading the live chat here. I like that my crew timed me out with the overcooked meat. Thank you, Paul Burke.
So I just want everybody to know that Barry's a liar when he says he doesn't overcook his meat. Absolute
It's not
liar.
true. Medium rare. Medium rare.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So some of the teams here have had did a lot of fundraising and got to play with some of the some former pros in hockey. Actually, our fire department is playing with PJ Stock during the tournament. So a completely non-firefighter public safety related question. Does anybody know in 2 seasons with the Boston Bruins how many fights PJ Stock got in? How many? 37? Any other guesses?
He said that like he
39?
actually knows the answer. No, he. Yeah.
And I wear the T-shirt to tell you. Hey, thank you for your service. Thank you. Let's give this guy a T-shirt.
There you
Give
go.
this guy a T-shirt.
Oh, he's already got a T-shirt.
Don't give us a T-shirt.
We'll give you coffee.
You want a T-shirt? Give this guy a T-shirt.
Give that guy. Give
All right,
that
so
guy
we have
a T-shirt.
39. Anybody or 37? Anybody got a better guess than 37? 39. Anybody got a better guess than 39? 42. We're getting further away.
Minus 10.
Minus 10. Anybody know what 42 minus 10
just say
is?
32. 32.
32. He's already got a T-shirt. He's already got a T-shirt. Let's give it to this guy wearing
32.
30. Did you say 32? Perfect.
Good, perfect.
Give her a T-shirt. Give her a T-shirt.
Right here, this little girl.
You can go, if it doesn't fit, you can go get a smaller one from us in the booth over here when we're done. All right, for our last bag of coffee, raise your hand if you want it. Yeah, anybody want a bag of coffee? Who's that guy in the sweater? Come get it, way back. Way in the back. Come get your last bag of coffee.
I was going to give it to Farmer's Tan there, guy. Holy crap. Look, wow.
Hey, here's one of the guys with the failed fire exam right there. There he is.
It's okay,
All right, guys. Hey, thank you very much for joining us on our live show. Big shout out to you, Jason Patton, for coming on, being willing to talk about this, and honestly for answering a text from somebody who you don't really know and has 10 whole episodes on YouTube. We really appreciate it.
No, we appreciate it.
If you guys got some of the coffee and T-shirts, please do us a favor. Maybe take a photo, tag Fire Department Coffee, Fire Department Chronicles, or at JobTlks on the social medias. We really appreciate your support. Nick with Wilco Media back there doing our producing, doing a great job.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, any last words?
No, thanks for having me on, man. This is awesome, dude.
No,
I
we
appreciate it,
appreciate
dude.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason.
All right,
Thank
John,
you.
you want to give us the official ending?
All right, guys. JobTlks out.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. It's all him.